Hello, my name is Hamazaki Eliasa, and today I would like to discuss about metaphysics. And we're going to dive into one of the oldest and most fundamental branches of philosophy, which is metaphysics. What is metaphysics? The term metaphysics literally means after physics. It comes from the Greek title given to the books of Aristotle that came after his work on physics. But the subject itself is far more profound. Metaphysics is the philosophical study of being and knowing, or more simply, the study of the fundamental nature of reality. It seeks to answer the deepest questions about the world and existence that cannot be answered by empirical science alone. What is the world made of? What does it mean to exist? Do we have free will? Is reality fundamentally physical or something else? These are the kinds of questions that form the core of metaphysics inquiry. Major branches of metaphysics. Metaphysics is traditionally divided into two main areas. One, ontology, the study of being. Ontology investigates what types of things exist. It asks what is fundamental. Substance, what is a fundamental independent entity? Is the only substance matter, or are there also non-material substances like minds or spirits? Properties, what are attributes of qualities that objects possess? For example, the redness of an apple. Universal, do general qualities like redness or justice exist independently of the particular things that have them? Plato believed they did, existing in a separate realm of forms. Identity, what makes something the same thing over time? Think of the shape of Theseus' paradox. If you replace every plank, is it still the same shape? And the second one is cosmology, the study of the universe and its origin. Cosmology in metaphysics, different from the scientific field, explores the nature of the universe as an ordered whole. Space and time are space and time independent containers for things, as Newton taught, or are they merely relationships between objects and events, as Leibniz argued? Causality. What does it mean for one thing to cause another? Is cause and effect a necessary connection or just a habit of the mind, as David Hume suggested? And change, what is the relationship between potentiality and actuality? Key metaphysical debates. Metaphysics is rich with historical debates that shape our understanding of reality. The first one is mind-body problem. This is perhaps the most famous metaphysical puzzle. What is the relationship between our minds or consciousness and our physical bodies or brains? The second, with dualism, argues that the mind and body are two fundamentally different kinds of substance, for example, physical matter and non-physical spirit or mind. René Descartes was a famous dualist. Monism argues that reality is ultimately one kind of substance. Materialism or physicalism, the only substance is physically matter. The mind is simply a complex product or state of the brain. The last one is idealism. The only substance is non-physical mind or spirit. The physical world is fundamentally an idea or perception. For example, from George Berkeley. From the second point, free will vs determinism. Determinism, the view that every event, including every human action, is the necessary result of prior causes. If determinism is true, our actions are just links in a causal chain, and true choice is an illusion. Libertarianism, philosophical, the view that we do have genuine free will, we could have chosen otherwise, and that this free will is incompatible with determinism. compatibilism, argues that free will and determinism are not contradictory. We can be considered free if our actions are caused by our internal desires and beliefs, even if those desires and beliefs were themselves determined by prior events. Why does metaphysics matter? Metaphysics might seem abstract, but it deeply informs all other areas of human thoughts. From science thought, science presupposes a structure, knowable reality governed by causal law, a metaphysical claim. From the ethics point, our belief in free will is essential for morality. If we don't have a choice, we can't be held morally responsible for our actions. From theology or religion view, the existence and nature of God or a soul are fundamentally metaphysical questions. In summary, metaphysics is the engine room of philosophy. It constructs the foundational map of reality, what exists, how it works, and our place within it, allowing us to then build the structures of knowledge, morality, and politics. It's a field that encourages us to step back and question the more basic assumption we make every day, assumptions like things exist and I can choose what to do. Thank you. Okay, so here is a breakdown of why this photo or the event it represents become metaphysical topic. First, the nature of the self and the soul, ontology. The most immediate metaphysical question a funeral raises is about the substance of the human being. From dualist view, for individuals who believe in dualism, they deceased person who was composed of the two separate substances, the physical body, which is now in the casket, and the non-physical soul, spirit, or mind, which has departed. The funeral is a ritual acknowledging the separation of these two substances. The focus shifts from the body, which is matter, to the soul, which is spirit, and its new state of existence. This directly concerns the metaphysical debate, the mind-body problem. From the materialist view, for those who hold a materialist or physicalist view, the person was only the physical body and brain. The funeral marks the end of consciousness, and existence, as the mind was merely a complex function, the now deceased brain. This view confronts the ultimate reality of non-existence. And second, post-mortem existence, cosmology. The ceremony itself often involves prayer, readings, or practices that address where the disease has gone, touching upon metaphysical cosmology, the understanding of the universe's ultimate structure, afterlife, or heaven or incarnation. Many religions represented in such ceremonies offer a metaphysical map of what happens after death, a transition to a different dimension, realm, or state of being. Heaven, hell, nirvana, rebirth into a new body. These concepts involve fundamental assertions about the ultimate non-physical reality beyond the observed world. That's it from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.